Hello students. This video is going to help you get through the Excel project. But first, there's a few things that are important that you need to know. The first and most important thing is to make sure you watch the entire video. There's some steps that you might not know about that are in the end, and if you don't know about them, that could cause you a lot of frustration, especially if you're trying to fix some things and get a higher grade. So definitely watch the entire video. It will save you time in the end. Second, make sure you use Excel. Do not use numbers or any other spreadsheet. If you don't use Excel, it's not going to work. So if you have a MacBook, you need to get the Excel that's used with the MacBook. The good news is that all this stuff can be gotten for free. So Microsoft has a version that's free for students and educators. The link is provided, or you can just look it up on your search engine to find the free version. And all you do is you put in your school email address to get you started. And if you continue to have problems, what I would suggest is you use the Excel over in the computer lab. It doesn't take long to do this project, and that might be the quickest way just to get you finished so that everything works for you. So those are the two things I would do if you run into any kind of technical issues. Okay, let's get started with the problem. So if you go to the assignments, you go down, you have the Excel project. So click on that. And then you might have to scroll up like me. It's showing problem 9-65A. However, keep in mind that sometimes this problem number will change. Whatever problem is here is the one you want to use. You can either click on the link here or start. First, you walk through this process. Now, the first process is to get the materials. So let's go ahead and do that. Download the materials, and you can just download all the materials. Make sure you save them on a cloud drive to keep them safe in case something happens. So like a Google Drive or Dropbox or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and save it. Now unzip the file. You'll see you have two files. You have one that says instruction, and then you have one where you're going to do your work. You'll see the instructions, and they seem pretty confusing. Honestly, I wouldn't worry with this document at all. I just wanted to point out that it's here, but I don't think you really need it. Also notice it gives you points that total 116. That's not accurate. Don't know why it says that. But basically I would just ignore this document and let's go to the other Excel spreadsheet. Alright, so we open this up. Basically the project that you're going to have is just to do a homework assignment. In this case problem 65A, but it could be another one, whatever one you're assigned. But whatever one you get, you're going to basically just doing the homework in Excel. There's three tabs at the bottom: instructions, sales data, and then you have where you're going to enter your answers. In the instructions, notice there's data there too. You need to use this data. All right, and then they go through and they give you information that you need to do the requirements of the assignment. Prepare the sales budget, including a separate section that details the type of sales made the first 3 months of the year. Now there's already a template for you, so that means just to fill out the sales budget, and you'll learn how to do that. So if you haven't practiced this with me in class, or you haven't practiced it on your normal homework, I would definitely do your regular homework and get a feel for how budgets work before you try to tackle this. They have also instructions here for saving and submitting the work, but for now let's just look at completing the assignment. The second tab has the data for your sales for your company, and notice there's additional data here for the problem that you'll need to use. Okay, so I just wanted to show you where that is. What I would do is I would start by going through and just kind of reading this stuff. I know it's not the most fun thing to read, but by just getting a feel for it, when you're asked, or when it comes to the part where you need information, you'll say, oh, I know where that information is, I've already seen it, and it'll be less confusing. Now let's go ahead and put the information in. Now the first thing it says is enter the sales units. So if we go to the sales data, we see for January projected sales 80,000. Now here's the thing, if you put 80,000 here, that's going to be marked incorrect by the system. The system doesn't want you to hard code anything, doesn't want you to type anything in directly. It wants you to reference the cell. What that means is you hit the equal sign, and then you go to where the sales data is, and then you click on that cell, and then you hit the enter. If you have any trouble with how to reference a cell or how to do anything in Excel, such as multiplication or summing different cells, all you got to do is go to YouTube and look for a quick video. It'll show you how to do it really quickly. By referencing that cell, then you'll get that one correct. So if you put 80,000 there, you're going to get it wrong. If you reference the cell directly to the data, you're going to get it right. Then it says multiply by selling price per bird feeder. So let's see, what is my selling price? Well, I go to my information and it says the selling price per bird feeder is 15. Again, if I put 15 here, the system will say you're incorrect. So what I need to do is reference the cell to the instructions 15 right there and then hit enter. That will be marked correct. Total sales revenue. All right, so that means I need to multiply 80,000 times $15. 80,000 times $15 is 1,200,000. If I put that there, again, it is incorrect. I need to use the formulas. So I hit equals and then I hit 80,000, so I go to that cell and then I hit the asterisk, that means to multiply, and then I hit the cell I want to multiply it by, so you can see the formula there, B9 times B10, and then I hit enter and it calculates it for me. If I do that, it will be marked correct. Cash sales. Well, when we make these sales, some people pay with credit and some people pay with cash. What I need to do is I need to hit equals the sales revenue and then times how many people or how many customers pay with cash. So if I go to the sales data, it says 20% are cash sales. So if I hit the 20% and then I hit enter, what it's done is it's taken 1.2 million times 20%. Again, if I put 240,000 there, it would be incorrect. Hit equals times, and then I go to the sales data, 80%, and there you go. So then I can sum these up. I can either hit equals and then hit one cell and then plus and then hit the next cell. So that would work. Another thing you can use is summation. So there's a formula for summing two cells or as many cells as you want, and you can use the sum function. Again, if you run into problems with learning how to use functions, just go to YouTube. There's lots of videos that will show you how to do this really quickly. Then hit equals. Notice how as you go down that that information is needed in these other cells for these other budgets. So for your production budget, you need the sales units. So what you want to do is you can't put sales units of 80,000. What you need to do is hit equals and then you need to reference that cell. The same thing for units to be produced. That's going to come from here. So you would hit equals and then you would reference the cell where you're pulling that information and hit equals. You have to do this. You can't put the numbers in there. Now, just a quick note for this. It might seem silly, but it's actually very important because in the real world, we would hardly ever type in the actual answers for what we're working on. We would always reference cells because what that means is we can go over here and make adjustments. For example, if I wanted to adjust this to 81,000 because new information came to me, notice how that flowed through to all of my budgets instantaneously and without me having to recalculate. Recalculating could lead to errors and it's just very inefficient. So in the real world, we used to use data sheets all the time. It's very common in pretty much any profession. Okay, now that we've got that, let's go ahead and submit this to get graded. Now obviously I'm going to get a pretty bad grade because I haven't filled out the vast majority of this. But you'll learn how to do these budgets in class and you can figure out how to do that and fill out the whole thing and then submit it. But I want to show you how to submit it. So let's go ahead and save it and then let's go to the to My Accounting Lab and submit. So step 2, it says to work on your Excel spreadsheet, which we already did, and now we're going to submit it. We're going to upload the completed document. So go ahead and choose the file. So I selected it and then I click upload and I see that it was successful. Now we want to submit for grading. Now notice we're going to get a poor grade, but we have 3 attempts at this assignment, so that's okay. We can go ahead and fix anything that's wrong and then resubmit it. We don't have to start from scratch every time. I go back to my assignments, see score. And we already knew we were going to get a bad grade, so the 6.9% is fine. But what we want to do is we want to get some feedback, and the feedback will tell you exactly what you did wrong and how to correct it. So let's see how we do that. So if I select the project, then I want to select review. It says, notice that this will not change your score. Just select the project so we can get some feedback. We want to see what we did wrong. Continue to review the homework, and we get this kind of funky looking thing here, which isn't too great. But what we want to do is hit the download, and then that's going to create a file for us that starts with LC. And so you can just put it in the same place. And so let's select that and then save it. Now let's open it. So this is your feedback file. It's got everything you need to know where you did things wrong. So if you go to where your answers are, you'll see what you got right, and then what's in red is what you got wrong. So all the stuff we did over here was correct. No problem there. However, what we got wrong over here has, if you hover over it, it has feedback to tell you exactly what you need to do. It even tells you the formula. The formula was not set to sales data C8. So it tells you the formula, so you can now use that formula to get everything put into the file. So go back to your other file, fill it out using the feedback here, and then we'll resubmit it again. So to resubmit it, I'm just going to go back to the file in my assignments and hit resume, and then I'll choose a file, and then I'll select it. Now, assuming that I've already fixed this one, I'll put new data in there. Don't use the feedback file. Use your file that you're working on, that you fixed, and then you can open that one up and then upload it, and then go back to submit for grading, and then you can go through the process again until you've got everything correct. You can have up to 3 times to do this. Since the feedback is very specific, it should help you to get a very good score on this project. And then hopefully that will help you with your grade, and also help you understand budgeting and the way budgets are set up in the real world, where we use Excel and we use reference cells to do the calculations automatically. So good luck with that, and hopefully I'll see you in class.